migrants want to be, heading back to the African continent, thanks to aid from the Italian government to reinforce Libya's coast guard. It's helped cut the number of migrants arriving in Italy to under 22,000 in the last 3 months. It's the lowest total for 4 years. But people trafficking networks in Libya continue to flourish because of government chaos as rival groups battle for power. These Ivorians, repatriated to the Ivory Coast from Libya, say they risk being sold into slavery.
They sell Africans over there, in Libya. They sell men. Even 15-year-old Libyans are there in a car, they're armed. They'll come and kidnap you, and they'll sell you for $70 to $150. And then others will resell you.
As soon as you arrive in Libya, the first thing that happens is that you are taken away and sold. Our black brothers from West Africa, wherever you are from, a Malian, a Senegalese, or any other nationality from the West, even an Ivorian, you are sold.
Hello my beautiful African people, welcome back to Hail and Ride Africa YouTube channel. Today we are looking at racism against black people from the Arabs, because most of the time when you talk about racism, people we always think that racism ends with the white world, the Western world. But racism in the Arab world against black people or African is even more worse, if we're going to be sincere with ourselves, than the racism that we encounter in the Western world, or how the Western world treated Africa compared to how the Arabs treated Africa. And if you're not going to defend this, or you're not going to have excuses, if you are open-minded, and just what you're going to do is just look at Africa. You don't even need to say much, Look at some countries in Africa. Look at a country like Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt. All these countries are today 99% Arabs. And when you look back at the history, you know that the Arabs are not from Africa. They are from Middle East. But today, those countries in Africa are being controlled by the Arabs. You see, but you cannot find a country, just if you're going to find it's only just one country, you find, even that one country, they don't have 90% white people in that country. But you look at those countries I mentioned, they are all 90% Arabs. And sometimes, according to the history, and which is true, is that the indigenous people of those countries, those that lived there before the Arabs' invasion of those places, sometimes they will do away with them. And even if they don't do away with you, they will convert you into slave. You become a slave to them. Because they're not they take all your resources, they make sure that you don't get enough resources, and the one you get, they make sure it's just enough to sustain you so that you serve them. And somebody will come and defend the Arabs, and think that these people are not racist against black people. They are, but I'm not saying that all the Arabs are racist against black people. Some of them are not. But there's some of them that are racist that is enough to cause trouble for Africans. That's why we are talking about it. And I know that people, when they see this kind of video, they don't like to hear this. Because of racism, sometimes they will play victim. They will blame you for saying something, your opinion on how you feel like. That's racism at the apex, you know what I mean? And when they want to shut you down, they make sure they have numbers to do that. You know what I mean? To tell you that, there is no racism, it's gone. It's gone in the Arab world or any other place in the world where we have racism against black people. But today we are not. We are just concentrating on the Arab world, and we are just exposing how brutal their own racism was or still, because they are not the only one that have come to Africa. The Europeans came to Africa, but they didn't invade Africa. Like they didn't take our land and stay there. But the Arab did. And I don't see how they will get away with this. I don't see how they will say that this is a lie. It's not a lie, it's true. It's a pure truth. So, according to what is on the ground, the evidence we have, I think the Arab world, racism were more brutal than the other colonial masters we have in Africa, and the way they treated Africa. I understand that the Western countries, when they came to Africa, they took our resources, but they still leave the land for us. But these Arabs, they didn't take only the resources, they take the land as well. That's why we see somebody from Morocco, she will be identifying herself as an Arab. And when you look at the map and look at where the Morocco is, you find out the Morocco is in Africa. And even as they are in Africa, most of them don't even identify themselves as an African. But when they identify them, the proper way they love to identify them as invaders, as Arab invaders, they get offended and they play victim. But they shouldn't be playing victim, because we are the one that's supposed to, we are the victims, the indigenous people of Africa. They are the victim of these Arab people. And not only that they are victim, sometimes they don't even talk about, it's not like these people came just to say, oh, we're going to stay for 50 years and go back to where we came from. No. They came there and occupied the place. And this is how they try to occupy many places. Sometimes when they have conflict in the Middle East, and they're playing that, oh, somebody is trying to invade them. Or when George Bush invaded Iraq, you know what I mean? They're all crying out, oh, this man is invading them. But this is what they did before. Anyway, it's not like I'm supporting that George Bush, how he invaded Iraq. No, I don't support that, but I'm just giving you instances. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our video, and if you disagree with us, let us know in the comment section. I'm your brother, as the Russians call me, the mood. Peace.